Hi everyone, this is BritSimon. I just wanted to quickly update about the passport requirement for the DV lottery. I mentioned some time ago that a court has removed that, has blocked that particular rule. The reasoning behind that, the blocking of that rule, that you had to have a passport in order to enter the lottery. The reasoning behind it was that the government didn't follow the proper procedure in implementing this new rule. They implemented it without public consultation, without a period of time for adequate notice, etc. And so a court in America in the District of Columbia, DC, has blocked the rule. So that has now been confirmed in the instructions for the DV lottery, and I just wanted to show that a little bit and make sure that's clear. So let's just add that in. Hang on a second. So this is the instructions that is applicable for consular officers when they are, when they're operating on a case, when they're deciding a case, they have to follow a set of instructions. And this particular instructions talks about the passport requirement. It talks about the starting with entrance in DV 2021, but you can see here that the government are now recognizing that the requirement has been removed. It says in February 22, a federal district court vacated the regulation that provided the basis for this requirement. So it changes here. It says here, let me just read the relevant bit. You should not consider, so if there is a claimed exemption, if the person didn't use the passport and claimed an exemption, etc., you should not consider that information at all as it is no longer legally relevant to the applicant's eligibility. In other words, they can't deny you because you didn't put in the passport. The questions are, if you claim some exemption on there, it doesn't matter. They can't question you and they can't refuse you for that case. Now, since I made the first video, there has been some confusion. That doesn't mean that you don't need a passport to go through the process. You will need a passport to go through the process, of course. So when you go to your interview, you'll need to show a passport. What this refers to is whether you could be disqualified for not having your passport in the original entry. Okay, and that's the bit that's been removed. Okay, so no problems with any case like that. Now, if you have been interviewed earlier this year as part of DV and you were refused for for that as part of DV 2022, then you should be able to immediately contact your embassy and explain to them if the reason of your refusal was only about that. You should refer them to this guide, and I'll put this guide below the video in the YouTube channel. And you can point out that your disqualification should not be allowed to stand. Okay, so and they should reopen your case for you. Now, there's always a little bit of a difficulty here in terms of timing, but because this happened in February, it's very unlikely you had an interview before then and were refused before then, etc. So I'm hoping that almost no one is caught by the timing difference with when this was implemented, etc. But you should certainly, from this point forward, you should not have any problems at all if you're about to interview and didn't have a passport at the time. Now, we don't know what they'll do for the next lottery period for DV 2024. We don't know whether they will try and re-implement this rule, but we'll see about that later. But we can say with certainty for DV 2022 and those that are not yet selected in DV 2023, the rule is gone. Okay. You will not, however, if you were refused in DV 2021, and there may be a few cases, pretty small number of cases, if you were refused in that, unless you are also a plaintiff on one of the lawsuits or perhaps covered by RI, you have no ability to reopen your case. And so, unfortunately, if you were refused for this rule in DV 2021, that refusal will stand. You can't reopen your case at this point, right? So, that, as I say, Curtis has mentioned he's heard of a dozen cases. I'm very surprised at that number. I don't think the number is very high at all. But he heard of some cases where refusals happen because of this this passport requirement. I had only just recently heard of one case. That's the only case I knew that was denied for this reason in DV 2021. Okay, anyway, I hope that's clear. Simple subject. I just wanted to make sure that people understood that the rule has now been updated, and we don't have to worry about that particular point anymore. Okay. Thanks for listening in. Make sure you're subscribed, please, so that you get good updates. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye bye now.